Well, the thing is, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be real with you, mistaken. Most men don't have leadership when it comes to their women. And what I mean by that is the type of leadership where he has control over whether it goes on. She has a choice to give that to him, but there used to be a time where the government backed male leadership, where it wasn't just, it was a consequence not only by way of him, but by way of the system that put that leadership in position, put that leadership in place. Now it's the opposite. Yes, women can give a man her the right to lead her, but she has the right to take it away just as quickly, and she's backed by the government to do so. So no, men technically don't have any real leadership over women because they have the choice to give it to you or take it away at any given chance that they want.
When men admit to women what women have always known, there's that video going around of a man saying the hardest decision of a man's life is choosing between the 6 out of 10 who loves you and the 9 out of 10 you actually desire. I mean, women who are older know this, and we try to tell younger women this, and a lot of times younger women don't want to hear this. So don't listen to the bitter old cat ladies. Listen to the men who are telling you unapologetically they're going to marry the 6 out of 10. And they say it's a hard decision because they don't really want to marry the 6 out of 10. They desire and they want to marry the 9 out of 10, but they're going to settle for the 6 out of 10 because she loves him and she's going to turn herself inside out. He doesn't have to work as hard. He's got her. It's in the bag. You know, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. But here's the thing. He's always going to look at her as a 6 out of 10, and the one that he settled for that he didn't really want to marry, the one that he had doubts about when he got married to her. And it's not going to take real long before he starts looking for a 9 out of 10, while he keeps his 6 out of 10 at home, loving him and doing everything for him and making his life easy. Because, I mean, look, why not? He's got this in the bag, you know. Bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, and he's going to keep the bird in the hand.
Most men don't even have access to women who are 9 out of 10. What is she talking about? What is
Yeah,
she
that's
even
not
talking about?
I
that's
mean, I
not a
think I
thing.
think that I think that relationships is a perception, right? Just because she's, let's just take the numbers out of it, right? It's just the person you desire, right? Even if you're in a relationship, you got that one relationship that didn't work out, but you love that girl, but for whatever reason she left you, she screwed you, right? So you married somebody else. That doesn't mean your love for that person, your desire for that person goes away. Let's just say she comes back around. You feel me? Things like that happen all the time. I've seen it.
You said all the
So
time.
yeah, I've seen people. I've seen on reels people say they didn't marry the love of their life.
Yeah,
I've
but
seen that
reals ain't
before.
real life. That's not in real life. Average people marriage average people. That
No,
shit really
so
goes
and
on
it's
for the
not about
most part.
average people. What I'm saying is who has your heart, right? Sometimes you can't marry the person who had your heart for whatever reason. Does that
What the
make
fuck?
sense?
But does that mean you
Not
settled
you,
per
Bruiser.
se?
I'm just saying, step outside yourself. We know that you guys married the love of your life. But let's just say this. Was there a woman who you knew was deeply in love with you, but she didn't get a chance to marry you, right? So let's step out of you and let's take it from her standpoint. Let's just assume she's still in love with you because you're just that guy, right? But she ended up marrying somebody else. It's possible that she is still, if she couldn't marry you. She desired you, but you wouldn't marry her. You understand
Yeah,
what I'm
I've
saying?
had cases right there. I took a couple girls to Pound Town, and they even till this day they probably. I mean, from what I've heard, from word of mouth, uh, from the bird's nest,
You
whatever you
see
want
how
to call it.
easy it was for
word
the
of
men to understand it
word of
from the other
mouth.
point of view, but not what?
You know
I'm just
why?
saying,
Because men typically don't behave like that, and
imprints.
I think that these women are projecting, and
Yeah,
that's the problem I'm having with
because
it.
I mean, yes, have a woman ever slipped through a man's fingers and like she went on or like he lost it? Yeah, but he ain't about to go out there and be like, "Yep," but I'm about to go ahead and get with this old good old 5 as the rebound. Like, no, like
So
you
I
ain't
want you to
marrying
take
her.
the number
You ain't
off
gonna
of.
marry her.
So how about this right here? How about let's just say they're not as good looking as you, right? And let's just say, he marries a person who is his equal. But let's just say he's watching porn, looking at these women who are he finds to be way more desirable, right? If he had an opportunity, he would get at them. He just doesn't have that opportunity.
What?
No, that's
So
wrong.
you're saying it's
We
men
all-
who, if a girl
What
who
we're
was
saying
out of
is-
his league tried to step to him,
No,
he
what we're
wouldn't.
saying- what we're saying
we
is-
always get with the woman that's better looking than us.
Huh?
Oh, I was about to say, I thought you were saying something else, Bruce. I was gonna say that basically that's the man is only as faithful as his options argument.
Yeah.
But at that point, but we know that
most men aren't even capable of that. If you hyper successful or a genetic celebrity,
and the thing is,
then
No,
that
so
could be
we're
the
the
case.
thing is, and the thing is,
that's because then you're right. They can't, right? But let's just assume that you can. Let's just say you make you win money, right? You have an opportunity where you leveled up and you do have that option available to you now. So let's take it from that standpoint.
Then I would agree that some people would exercise that option, right? We can't deny that, but I think it's a human thing. I don't think it's just a man thing per se. But
Oh,
yes,
sure.
man, some men would do that. But the fact is, most men will never be presented with that opportunity.
and you know what though?
But it's
And-
only
and-
because
and
of lack of opportunity that they're not doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Because if the opportunity were there, they would. That's the problem.
right,
Yeah,
Shan,
but
that's
most people,
It's
most
a
people would
desire.
most people
That's what a
listen. So
desire
if most
is.
people had the opportunity to rob a bank and get away with it, they would. But the fact is that most people don't, right? If the safe was just open, right, and there was nothing that, and you knew you could absolutely get away with it, and nobody was going to catch you at all for any reason, most people would do that. But that's not generally how people operate on a day-to-day basis. Just because they have some wild opportunity, like, because it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Shan, like that. I think that might be the great equalizer for men. Like, there's a reason. Like, maybe God put it in place that men were unattractive to most women to the point where we don't have them kind of options to equalize us with women who do have a lot of options.
Oh, I agree.
Because it's that great equalizer that keeps us in check. That's why most men don't cheat, because you ain't got the opportunity to. One shit, like, man ain't about to try to put forth that much goddamn effort into it. Like, you know how much effort it would have to be for the average man to go out there and cheat on his woman. You got most dudes just like for example, like that one day when Marcus was up here, he talked about how the chick. Hold on, I ain't gonna talk about that, man. He ain't even up. Oh, yes, he is. Marcus. I didn't even know he was up there. I want to make sure. I don't know if he told this story publicly or not, so I'll leave it alone. But like, most people ain't got the opportunity where a chick just throws herself at you. You got to put forth the average guy got to put forth way too much effort to the point where he will get caught.
So, Sweeney, it's not an act of God, and I'll tell you why. Because God wouldn't make it so lopsided that the people who have the opportunities do enough damage to traumatize damn near all the women. Because that's what we see. Even though it's only a few guys that have that opportunity, they get their numbers up crazy, 200, 300. This is what's happening. The few people who have that opportunity are smashing everybody, and it's traumatizing most of the women. That's why most women are have those experiences and lack of trust, is because they ran into one of those, heathens, as Darwin would say, and they rocked their world and got them messed up for life. They can't ever look at men the same. They can't trust anybody. They got to be skeptical, cynical about everything because of the damage that the loud minority has done. These few people.
I would say that I think that was his grand design. I think we might have screwed the pooch on it, but I think that might have been his grand design to keep us in check. And then, of course, we.
So you think he made a mistake somewhere along the line? Or
no, I think we got a little too advanced for our britches.
Trev, I got a correction to make.
It's the only thing that happened was order happened.
Trev, real fast. I just want to correct a statement. It's not a minority. I've seen the men that these women allowed to break their hearts, and they ain't all that. They not the people that y'all saying that they are. These are some dudes you can be like, what? Huh?
So in your opinion, what percent of people do you think actually cheat?
You talking about men and women?
Yeah.
Nowadays, a lot on both sides.
Like what?
Man,
give us a number.
What? Give us a number.
I think that So cheating when it comes to marriage, is that what we're talking about?
No, cheating in general. Come on, let's keep it simple.
That ain't simple. Most people don't even
What-
say they're in relationships. What a situation?
Man, let's talk about people who are in
Well-
relationships. Come on now, Shane. People who are in
Who's
relationships.
in a relationship these days? All I can do is go by.
Obviously, we couldn't consider that cheating if they're not in relationships. So only way you could cheat is if you're in a relationship. You reference cheating. So what percentage of people do you think cheat in relationships?
Okay, so I'm gonna go by marriage. And I'm going to say
No, she's right. It makes sense because that's actually
I'm with it. I'm with it.
a lot of information about marriage is documented.
right. So I'm gonna say when I look at marriage these days, I think that probably 75
It's definitely not that. Ain't no way.
You don't think
The
so?
No,
Kelly, you all
I
right?
could tell you what's been reported. It's been
Okay.
reported
Yeah,
to be
because I had to
about.
look that up, but go ahead.
You all right, Kelly?
It's in the 30s, right? It's in
Yeah,
the
I'm fine.
30s.
Letting you
If,
guys
you, if you're
Really?
looking at it,
That's good.
yeah, no, just look. It's about the 30. It's in the 30s. That's what's reported. Last
me
I
know
checked,
if I got up under your
it's probably
skin.
subject to change, right?
You
But,
can't get under my
it's
skin.
about
Nothing you says applies
in
to
the
me.
30s. So
Okay, gotcha.
most men aren't doing that, right? And when I said the dudes who are running the numbers up, these average guys that you were talking about that were breaking hearts, they're not into those 200s and 300s that I just spoke of. Ain't no way. That ain't how it go down. They're
What
not
you
doing
said, the
that.
200s or 300s. What was that? Can you?
I said that there are the dudes, this top percent of dudes who all women are attracted to, or 80% of women at least are attracted to, are doing enough damage to traumatize all the women. But so
that's
Go
what I
ahead.
want you to say. People keep saying that, but it's the ugly dudes that you gave a chance to that
They
also
are not running it up. The
they're
ugly
not running.
dudes
No,
is not
I'm
running
not
it up.
saying no.
Because that's what I was talking about.
No. They're not running it up, but they do damage as well. We have this thing where if you're ugly, you can't possibly break a person's heart. Lies.
No,
They all
I
don't.
don't.
We're not saying
No,
that, but
They are all
No, we're not
dogs.
saying that.
You
but
had
the
an ugly
likelihood,
person break
like-
your heart?
but the likelihood,
My only point was that. So let's just say those guys didn't exist. Those guys in the top 10. Let's say the top 10 to 20%.
Mhm.
If they didn't exist, most women would not be traumatized like they are right now. But they are allowed to run the numbers up. That's just what it is, and they're doing a lot of damage. That's all I'm saying. Way more.
Even
way
like
more.
the ugly dude, like the dude who may have won off and been able to break, he may be able to break one woman's heart. Like out of the 20 women, out of the 5 women that he's been with, he may have broke one of their hearts. 3 of them broke up with him. One of them wasn't really all that into him, and then one he finally decided to marry. You know what I mean? But the dude, like the ones that traumatize women, by and large, that's not most men. Most men don't even have the ability, like, to even be able to traumatize you like that because he don't have the options to traumatize you in that way.
Right.
Mhm.
Like he not
I'm
about to
telling
be able to.
you.
He not bending over. He not about to be able. Like, come on now. Like, you know how many women are confident that they men can't get women. Like that boy ain't going there. You can't get nobody. Like,